Every week I was on the list.
This is Coach Schwartz, everybody. He's holding court. Don't let me interrupt you. You're telling a great story. Don't stop. Oh, you know what? There's some stories that are not meant for public consumption. Smelodies OG, what's up?
But it worked for years, right?
Joshua City, what's up, Joshua City? This is JP. This is Neda Ulabi. Neda is from the world of public radio. JP is from the world of Hollywood and degenerate gambling.
Right, exactly.
And Joshua City says, hey, Lady Rogers has joined. Bet on Boxing has joined. Bet on Boxing, you're in the right place.
Yeah, no,
because JP knows a little something about that, and he's going to be holding this phone as I skip rope and take questions from this man, Dave Schwartz, a.k.a. the coach, always representing Garcia Poker. And today we're at the home of the Vikings. Yeah, Santa Monica High School. So Boxnard 187 says, who wins Garcia Broner? I think he asks this every week. I think we all like Garcia like everyone else. And Lady Rogers said she ran track in high school. So did I.
Cool. The Garcia Broner odds are getting closer.
Oh, really?
They opened them real wide for Garcia.
Right.
And some people have been betting on Broner.
People are betting on Broner.
A little bit.
He's famous, though.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as today's boxers go, and in comparison, comparatively to Garcia, he's the far better known. I mean, hardcore fans know both guys, but Broner's better known.
Well, I think what happened, like,
there's more casual fans. Let's put it that. There's more casual fans,
right?
AKA like hip hop heads that are into.
He's fought on NBC.
Broner,
he's fought on a lot of people know Broner.
Will Canelo win by KO or UD? Well, JP ain't picking him, folks.
UD.
I wouldn't be shocked with anything, any outcome. But I see a distance fight, and if there's a stoppage, it's going to be late, and I think Triple G will be the one scoring the stoppage.
Canelo
if there's a stoppage.
is the only thing that cannot happen.
Right.
That's my opinion.
Huh. Interesting.
The other three things are possible.
Pacquiao versus Horn.
This weekend.
Do you care? It's on ESPN. Neda, it's on ESPN.
Excellent.
You can watch it. You don't have to pay.
Only thing about Jeff Horn, I saw him wobble a bit against Randall Bailey.
What?
Yeah.
Well.
And Ali Funeka.
Bailey can punch. Yeah. Funeka, real tall, rangy dude with speed.
It's a little worrisome, though. But he came back to stop them both, but he's a little, he might have a shaky chin. Bailey,
the last thing to go on a fighter is his punch, and Bailey was a born puncher. He was past his prime. What do you think about the circus show, Mayweather versus McGregor? We don't care. It's all good.
I like it.
Yeah, we were talking about it, right?
I think it's great for boxing. I think it's great for the Triple G Canelo fight.
I agree.
And I would go positive on it. I think, they're going to make a fortune.
Yeah. So that's why it's happening.
That's all.
So
good.
we all know that.
We know who's going to win. I'm for it.
Yeah, I don't think Golden Boy or Oscar De La Hoya or any other, boxing promoter should rip the show, because I don't think it hurts. I don't think it hurts other promotions. I don't think it's going to.
Or should rip anything.
No, focus on your own. Yeah, focus on your own program, right?
But I think it's a giant plus, and that
people are going to be talking about it. Plus the mainstream media, and they're going to talk about Mayweather McGregor, and in the same breath, they're going to talk about Canelo Triple G.
Exactly.
And they're going to say one show is a circus, and they're going to say the other show is a legitimate boxing championship.
And it's true.
Somebody, I missed what you just posted up there, dude. It said something about Canelo Triple G taking a huge lead over Mayweather McGregor. Maybe he was talking about the press coverage. I didn't see that comment.
So which one do you think is going to get the most buys on pay-per-view?
What was that?
Which one of those two fights do you think?
I would give the edge to Mayweather McGregor.
I think it's going to do it a lot. I think that's going to.
But I think Canelo Triple G does well over $1 million.
Oh no, for sure.
I mean, I think it does. I think it does at least 1.5 million, which is great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna. Anyway, it's all good, and we were all at the press conference the other night.
Will Sergey fire John David Jackson for his losses? I don't know. I listen. I'm in the minority here. I say, why change it? I don't think that Kovalev lost to a journeyman. Okay. I think he looked like his usual self. I thought that John David Jackson was doing just fine between rounds before Ward scored his somewhat controversial stoppage. And if you're John David Jackson, why would you give up that payday? I mean, who else? JP, who else is John David Jackson training?
Right now?
What other HBO contract fighter is John David Jackson training? Trainers don't make a lot of money, folks.
Yeah,
What do you think of the World Boxing Tournament? I think it's great.
Oh, man, that's going to be tough, though, Doug, because remember the Super 6? Those guys took a lot out of each other.
Yeah, but it's a good way for cruiserweights to get some recognition, and they're always in good fights.
Yeah, the way I understand it with the press release, they're going to select their own opponents.
What was John David Jackson's best win as a boxer? Smellody's OG. I'd say probably Reggie Johnson.
Yeah. So, Doug, with this cruiserweight tournament, they're going to select their own opponents.
Yeah.
And they've got, like, top-tier guys.
Yeah.
So,
if they get Usyk, that's the bomb, man.
I heard that George Groves might do it for
super middleweight,
and for the cruisers, they got.
And they'll probably have Kessler in that too.
Yeah, he's an alternate right now, man. I love Kessler. I love Kessler. I hope he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
But for the cruiserweights, can you imagine Usyk, Breedis, Dorticus?
Yeah, Gassiev. Gassiev's in it, right?
Yes. I mean,
Boxnard's asking about, somebody else asked about Amir Khan versus Lucas Matisse.
Is that what they're doing?
I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
That's a great fight.
It's a good fight, but I got to favor the machine in that one.
Amir.
But I wouldn't count out, I won't count out Amir in that, because, I don't know. The machine might still be broken.
I don't know. Matisse looked pretty good last night.
He did.
Yeah.
All right. JP, you want to take this?
Ned and
I got to skip some rope. I'm sweating as it is, though.
Okay,
hey, Coach,
so
Coach, tell them how many we did. We did 200 meters, and we did some.
Yeah, we did 100 meters.
Rich Beterbiev is fighting Enrico Koling.
Yeah.
I believe that's end of July.
Yeah.
I think it might be the same day as Mikey Garcia and Broner. I'll find that out. So we got a number of people writing in right now. If you have any questions, write it in, and Neda and I will read them to Doug and Coach. Coach will start with his questions here. If you guys have any questions about boxing, we got Trout versus Jarrett Hurd.
I like Hurd, but Trout's very live in that fight because of his experience.
Okay.
Hurd is very strong, young junior middleweight title holder.
What about Charlo versus Lara?
Who cares? I'm going to go with Charlo.
Charlo, yeah.
I'm rooting for Charlo.
Is that fight happening?
I don't know.
Okay.
So anyway, I want to thank Dennis Taylor from the Ringside Boxing Show.
Okay.
He's the one I get all these today's history
So
of
if
boxing.
you get a date wrong, we're going to have to blame Dennis, or we're going to have to
no, actually,
blame your dictation.
He does. It's an incredible website, and he does interviews. He has a radio show every Sunday.
Dave and I were on the show not too long ago.
So when is the show?
Maybe it's archived.
And we were supposed to be on for like 20 minutes. We're on for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
When is Dennis's show?
His show's on. It's on every Sunday at 4, but he podcasts it. And his the first website I go to every day is his website. He gives you all the headlines and stories, and there's about 20 in there. You can get all the information you want just from his front page there. It's really
like
good.
A hub.
Yeah, it's really good. And he spends a lot of time. He's a really smart guy, really good guy.
Cool.
So thank you, Dennis.
Thurman versus Crawford at 147 from Boxnard.
Yeah, I know. I think Crawford will be the favorite. I think I'm going to ride with Thurman on that one.
Okay.
Though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Coach.
Okay. So to the June 24th, 1968, Madison Square Garden. It was a heavyweight. It was a New York World Heavyweight title.
Okay. So right there, I know you're talking about Joe Frazier.
Yeah. Okay. The guy that he fought, I'll tell you this. He knocked him out in the second round. It was a guy that fought all his fights at the Olympic Auditorium.
Mexican heavyweight. Yeah. It's Emmanuel Ramos.
Wow.
Wow.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I almost said Mondo Ramos, but he was a little bit smaller. Yeah. Emmanuel Ramos. Yeah.
We could just quit now, Doug.
Okay.
That is incredible. I can't believe that. That is so good.
That's a tough one.
Oh, that's
That's the number of people
The
currently.
giveaway was New York State heavyweight champion. That last time they recognized their own world champion, Joe Frazier.
And I think
because Ali was out of boxing at the time.
Yeah.
So Frazier slowly kind of gained recognition in each part of the boxing world, collecting a belt here, getting recognition from the powerful commissions, until
Dougie knows his boxing.
Yeah. By the time Ali came out of retirement, they were two legitimate champs.
Spence versus Thurman.
Spence versus Thurman.
I favor Spence. I love his activity, his body work, his consistency, but I don't disagree with Teddy Atlas that Thurman could be difficult for him, just with his style. The way he's fighting now could be difficult.
I think Errol's getting a hometown fight first.
Yeah.
In Dallas.
And I love Spence in that fight. I think that's a no-brainer. Spence wins that fight.
Well,
I don't think he knocks
Coach said
him out.
Ward. You were right, Coach. So.
No, I love Spence in that fight. Hey, that was very good. That was incredible you got that fight. Okay, here's one. Also, June 24th, 1968, a heavyweight fight in Glasgow.
In Glasgow? A heavyweight fight in Scotland.
You know it. I know you know it. 1-round knockout.
What was the year again?
1968.
1968?
Yeah.
In Scotland?
Yeah.
Here's the only heavyweight fight that I knew that took place in Scotland. That was Mike Tyson versus Lou Savarese.
Right.
And that was not 1968.
Okay, well, I got to get 1 year wrong, but you got it right.
Wow.
Let me see if I can guess the
What
year,
year?
though.
What?
I'm going to say 2000.
Probably
Yeah,
or
no,
late
no.
90s.
Yeah?
No, it
2000.
was 2000.
There you go.
Danny Garcia versus Bud Crawford.
Crawford. But by decision, I think Danny's dangerous. Danny can take a shot. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Danny Garcia is a bad fighter at all. I think he's a hell of a fighter. Just could fight more often and probably needed to be challenging himself more than he was.
All these guys need to fight more often.
Yeah.
Okay.
His fight with Thurman should have been a lot better. If both of those guys had been more active, it could have been a better fight.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel the same way with when Thurman fought Sean Porter.
Yeah.
You know, they're not active enough, so they don't let their hands go the way fighters from previous decades did. Guys who were fighting like 4 times a year, 5 times a year or more.
Okay, June 25th, 1952. We've discussed this fight before at the Polo Grounds. Light heavyweight fight.
Oh, is this Joey Maxim versus Sugar Ray Robinson?
Right. Okay. So you know that whole story, but this is what I want to ask.
Record heat.
Okay, I want to ask you.
So
this.
hot they retired one of the referees before the fight ended.
Wow.
And you know
The
who
referee was out.
And you know who that was.
Is that Rudy Goldstein?
Yeah, Ruby Goldstein.
Gold-
But this is my question.
Is it Goldstein?
Ruby Goldstein.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is my
Former
question.
fighter.
Who's the ref that replaced Ruby Goldstein?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I got that.
That was Ray Miller.
Ray Miller.
But I want to ask you, and I tried to look this up and I couldn't find it. Did the referee, was he the only judge, or did they have judges also?
They had judges.
Okay, because...
They had 2 judges, and the referee was the 3rd judge.
Okay.
The referee did keep score.
Okay, so at the...
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, at the end of the 13th round, so a combination of Ruby Goldstein and Ray Miller scorecard.
Yeah.
How did they have the fight?
They had Robinson ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the round. They did by rounds. It wasn't on a 10-point must system. But they had Robinson up. Robinson might have been up like 9 rounds or something like that.
Yeah, he was. Oh, they did have judges.
Exhausted.
They did have judges. They had a 10-3, 9-3-1, and 7-3.
Yeah. So Robinson was on his way to winning the light heavyweight title. But
Dougie, can Sean Porter beat Thurman in a rematch?
Yeah, it was a close fight as it was. Absolutely. Yeah. Sure.
All right, Coach.
Absolutely.
Sean Porter could beat anyone. He's got the
I
style.
think on a good night.
And
I mean, with that style.
There's a kid that's always in shape, mentally and physically. His dad's a great trainer. The kid's ready to go. I mean, he's got his own style, but it works.
He's a hell of an athlete.
And he's a great kid.
Not always that fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's got the cleanest style.
Kamagai
style,
Kodo.
that might be the style to beat Spence.
Porter is a great fighter. We agree. Kamagai versus Kodo. Your thoughts?
Ooh, war, Kamagai. I'm openly rooting for the Japanese gatekeeper. Open. And I love Kodo. I love him. I think he's on that edge. You need someone to push him off. So here's the thing. I favor Kodo to win. By decision, maybe by late stoppage. Kamagai's never been stopped.
Right.
But if Kodo boxes and lands the right shots to the body and head, accurate power punching I'm talking about, I'm not saying dominates him, but he should clearly beat Kamagai. If he gets pulled into a slugfest, if he tries to take him out early and offers his 36-year-old body to Kamagai, Kamagai will get him to the body. He's got underrated inside craft. If Kamagai can suck Kodo into a slugfest, I think he can push him off that ledge.
Dougie.
And I thought the same thing about Kirkland. If Kirkland didn't get clipped in like the first 2 rounds and kept putting it on, Kodo putting it on and putting it on, he could have done the same thing when that fight was on the books.
Says Dougie, you the best.
Thank you. Who says that?
I couldn't read it.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right,
I got some birthdays here. June 23rd, 1926.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He was a featherweight, and he had a trilogy, very famous.
About Sandy Sadler?
Yeah.
Sadler born in 26.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Pep and Sadler fought 4 times.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 and 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 3
Yeah.
and 1. And
Sadler won 3 out of 4.
he knocked him out 3 times, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And the one distance fight
Yeah,
was
one distance
Pep.
is Pep, yeah.
And Pep looked like somebody attacked him with an ice pick.
And Pep win 1 round without ever throwing a punch?
Yes, that's part of the folklore.
Just like Mark Johnson.
Mark
We
Johnson.
were there at the forum. He
When he
won
fought,
the 10th round. Were you there? He won the 10th round
I
of
wasn't
a
at
10-round
that one.
fight without
Oh, yeah.
ever throwing a punch.
Dougie Pacquiao Thurman.
Pacquiao Thurman.
Yeah, it happened.
You know, it's a good fight. I'm a Thurman guy. I ride with Thurman. I pick Thurman over Porter and Danny Garcia. And I think he's live against any welterweight in the world.
Yeah.
I think he could clearly be the man at welterweight had he been fighting more than one time
Right.
a year. I go with Thurman. I think Thurman hurts him to the body. Hurts the old man.
Okay, I have another.
Say, somebody's going to push, just like Cotto, somebody's going to push Pacquiao off that cliff.
Not Jeff
I
Horn.
mean, he's lost fights, but nobody's beat him up, pushed him off the cliff.
Not Jeff Horn.
That's what these old guys need. They need, like, what happened to Bernard Hopkins,
Yeah.
like what happened to Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
In fact, it was Pacquiao who did it.
Yeah.
You gotta whoop his ass. Be like, okay, I've got nothing. What the hell am I doing in here? I'm done.
See, I think Bernard Hopkins jumped off on purpose.
He did it? Oh, he's a genius.
No, he did it. This is all
He's
his.
amazing.
This was his swan song, and it was a swan dive. and I think he did it.
What people don't know is there was a mattress
Yeah.
actually waiting
Yeah.
for him. That's why that camera
Right.
guy just took a step back because he was in on it. Yeah.
But I wouldn't put it past him. Okay, here's another birthday. Okay, June 23rd, 1963. Mr. Cool.
Mr. Cool.
Cool.
1963?
Yeah.
A fighter whose nickname is Cool?
No, cool.
Cool Vince Phillips.
You got
That's
it.
the only fighter that I know.
That's
But
right,
he
yeah.
wasn't fighting in the 60s.
No, that's when he's born.
Oh, he was born. He was born in 1963?
Yeah.
God, Vince was older than I thought he was.
Yeah.
Holy
June
crap.
23rd, yeah.
Jeez.
Okay,
Vince
I got
Phillips
one-
is
I got-
7 years older than me.
Hey, was he the best?
He was awesome.
How about the Caustic Zoo fight? Oh,
That was incredible. That was incredible.
I mean, that was.
That was the last time Roy Jones Jr. has cheerleaded as hard as he
Yeah.
did for Andre Ward in the rematch with Kovalev. You got to go all the way back to 1997, I believe it was. Kostya Tszyu versus Vince Phillips on HBO Boxing After Dark.
You know what the best...
After Vince Phillips stops him, Roy Jones stands up and goes, "Pensacola reigns supreme!"
That's good.
Because Vince used to be trained
Yeah.
by his dad in Pensacola, Florida.
But he must have been a 50-1 underdog in that fight.
Yeah, he was a decided underdog.
Huge
Definitely. I don't know if it was that much.
And
but
we
he was an
we
underdog.
knew Vince real well. He's a great guy.
You know, the best, most biased celebrating ever was when Lennox was on commentary and Maskayev knocked out Hasim Rahman.
I never heard that one. Yeah, are you talking about the rematch?
He hated Rockman because
Yeah.
Rockman, called him a fag on ESPN,
Yeah.
and they had that big fight.
Yeah, and Rockman also knocked him out with one punch in
Right.
South Africa.
Yeah.
So
that kind of sucked.
when Rockman started the downslide and Maskayev got him on the ropes and I'm telling you, he's gonna knock him out.
I got it. Okay, I'm gonna YouTube that.
It
Yeah.
is over. Yes, it's over.
Hey, that's good.
Fantastic.
That's good.
Are you from the UK?
Sometimes.
That's very good. Okay, I have one more birthday here.
Lennox Lewis is a great guy, by the way. Like in
Great
person,
fighter.
person to person. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have,
I can imagine that. Yeah.
One more. June 27th, 1944. He's
1944.
a boxing manager.
Okay.
He's done real well for his fighters.
This is a birthday?
It's his birthday.
Okay, he was
Okay,
born in
yeah,
44.
and he always wears the same weird jeans in the ring.
Oh, man, you're talking
know
about
it.
Shelley Finkel.
You got it.
Wow.
That's very
Wow.
good.
Yeah, Shelley
Pretty
Finkel.
good.
Yeah.
Trained
What-
so many
Hey, what's his,
excellent fighters out of the 84 Olympics.
but what's his claim to fame?
Mark Breland, right?
Yeah.
Setting Mark Breland up for life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mark Breland, he was incredible, but Shelley Finkel set up these funds for him. You know, these
Yeah, like a trust
investments,
fund.
and he gets like, you know, here's a guy. He gets $200,000 a year every year, and for the rest of his life, he doesn't have to worry. And otherwise, he'd probably be broke like everyone else.
Yeah, like everyone else. Yeah.
Dougie, who's Kovalev fight next?
I think he should fight the winner of the Joe Smith Jr. Sullivan Barrera fight.
I like
now,
that.
if Barrera wins that fight, and it's an even money fight,
Right.
I slightly favor Joe Smith Jr.
Okay.
He's got a little bit quicker on the trigger, but both guys, big, stand-up, strong, light heavyweights with big right hands, right? Great matchup. July 15 at the Forum, as
Yep,
a matter of
I'll
fact.
be
Part
there.
of a Boxing After Dark triple header. It's going to be a great show. If Barrera wins that fight, he's promoted by Kathy Duva in main events. That's a fight they can make. And at that point, Barrera deserves it. I mean, back-to-back wins, Shabransky and Joe Smith Jr. And if Joe Smith Jr. wins, I mean, he's kind of like a new star
For sure.
in the light heavyweight division. I think he's lost some momentum from that knockout of Bernard Hopkins because he hasn't fought in all this time. But
6 months, yeah.
he can remind everybody how good he is if he takes out the Cuban. And so I think that winner is high profile. It's happening on HBO. They can set it up. In Kovalev, and there's time to make a fight because Kovalev's next HBO date is November, I think.
Okay.
So I like Joe Smith big in that fight.
Oh, you
Really?
like him big? Good.
Really?
I like him
He's
big.
gonna be the underdog.
And then
You think so?
I think so. I could be wrong.
Well, you would know. You would know better than I do.
We'll see. I could be wrong. We'll see.
Interesting.
We should know soon.
And then I'd love to see Joe Smith fight Kovalev. Oh,
Yeah, isn't that, I mean, that's awesome.
that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Joe Smith.
I love Joe Smith.
And Joe, I think if Joe Smith beats Barrera, I think he's live against Kovalev because he can start fast.
Yeah, he starts fast.
Yeah.
Okay, here, I'll give you one more birthday. June 24th, 1927. A real famous heavyweight champ.
What's the year?
He was born June 24th,
These are hard.
1927.
These are hard.
Okay. A famous heavyweight champ.
Yeah, real famous.
Okay. Was it Rocky Marciano? No.
I hope I got the year right.
Yeah,
I could
so
have got
the
it wrong.
See,
I'll
so
put-
you're saying, so you say 1927.
I
That
might
makes me
be
think
wrong.
he was a prospect or
No, I
turning
think-
pro in the late 40s, right?
Yeah,
So-
I got it right. It's wrong. I got the wrong.
Oh, okay.
Forget that. Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
I'll just say the long count.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the long count. Okay, so that's Jack Dempsey?
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
he's probably born before that.
Of course. Jack
I got
Dempsey was
that.
champion.
Yeah, no, I know.
Jack
I
Dempsey
know.
was champion
Okay.
from 1919.
I know exactly what happened.
And the
there.
Roaring
Okay.
20s was his decade.
Okay, I know the problem. Okay. Anyway, it's all my fault.
No, it's good. It keeps me on my toes. Though.
I- Okay, here, I'll give you this one.
I'm doing my
Okay,
job,
I'll
basically.
give you this one, which I know I have the right date.
Yeah.
Okay. June 24th, 1947, Cleveland, Ohio. The guy who won retained the welterweight title. The guy who, okay, Don Hamilton's dad refused to go to this fight. He said one of the guys is going to get killed in the fight.
Right.
And the guy who won the fight had a dream the night before he was going to kill
Yeah,
the guy.
obviously that's Sugar Ray Robinson against Jimmy Doyle.
Right.
Mhm.
And that was a boxing fatality where it was like a one-punch knockout.
Yeah.
And the kid never woke up.
Right.
And he was in his 20s. He was a young
Yeah.
guy with a lot of fights because they fought a lot back then.
Yeah.
But Hamilton's dad didn't want to see the Robinson fight because Hamilton's dad was at the fight where Doyle took a beating, I
The
think,
previous.
against
Yeah, the previous.
Fulmer. Was it Gene Fulmer or
I don't
somebody
know.
else?
I don't know who it was.
I might be getting mixed up with who it
Yeah,
was.
Benny
who gave him
Perret.
a beating.
He was at the fight with
Somebody gave him a beating in a previous
Yeah,
fight.
right.
It wasn't Fulmer. I'm thinking of the
Benny Perret.
Jimmy Parrott. Yeah, Benny Parrott before the Griffith rubber match. Yeah.
Doug,
But this one, no. But his dad wouldn't go to the Sugar Ray Robinson Jimmy Doyle fight.
Yeah.
You know, Jimmy
because he knew
Doyle.
that Doyle was susceptible. to
Jimmy
being-
Doyle, I think, made his pro debut at the Olympic Auditorium.
Wow.
He
I got
used-
a
he used to
box
fight
right
here.
there. Yeah, I got a box.
I think he did.
You know, I had a bad feeling about Nigel Benn
Gerald.
and Gerald McClellan. And I watched both guys' career. I used to go to a cousin's house because he had Showtime.
That was insane.
And I would watch those fights from Britain with the British super middleweights. And I don't know why, I had a bad feeling about it. And I went on a date with Nina,
Yeah.
before we were married, actually. And then I read it the next day. I read about McClellan being in a coma. I've never seen that fight in its entirety. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I don't want to watch the
There's
whole
a great
thing.
documentary, The Fight of Our Lives, by the BBC. But
And you know
it's
what?
the
There's
rabbit
been some
shots.
fatalities.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there was Daniel Twitch Franco.
He's in a
Luckily,
coma.
he's
better,
coming.
getting
He's
better.
gotten better.
That was a bad
But
knockout.
he had been knocked out in May,
In less than 60
right?
days, yeah.
Or less than 6
Fight
or
never
March
should
or
have been
something
made.
like that, and then he
Fight
came
never
right
should have
back.
been made.
Right.
Yeah.
He should have been. He should have still been on his forced
No,
layoff.
that's on Rock Nation. That's
And
not
then there
good.
was an MMA fighter, a guy who used to fight in the UFC,
Tim Hague.
who took a boxing match in Canada,
Yeah.
and he got killed. He died.
There's been some bad ones
But
lately.
he had been knocked out previously.
Actually, I have a good friend.
And they let him in there.
I have a good friend that thinks they're gonna stop the McGregor Floyd fight quickly because of the recent stuff that's been happening.
Sure.
But
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
the McClellan fight, it was the French referee was allowing these rabbit punches.
Yeah.
And if you remember, a year ago on NBC, the kid.
Williams against the guy who got injured from Puerto Rico.
The Puerto Rican kid.
Puerto Rican guy.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his name.
I'm
It's
sorry.
terrible that I'm not
If
thinking of
write
his
his name in, please. Thank you, Pritchard Cologne.
Yeah, Pritchard
So,
Cologne.
Thanks.
Rabbit punches are serious.
Boxnard, thank you. The rabbit punches are so dangerous,
Yeah,
and the
you can hit your
referee, when you
brainstem.
allow that, it's like one can damage you, but consecutively over round,
Yeah.
the brain sits back there.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, and if a fighter is weight drained or has a previous concussion or
Right.
something,
Very dangerous.
It's real bad. That's where Davey
commission's got to be a lot stronger
Yeah.
than they are. Yeah, and I had been told that Davey Moore had been hurt. He'd been knocked out in his training camp going into that fateful night against Sugar Ramos.
Dougie Lomachenko versus Rigo, 130 pounds.
I got a favorite Lomachenko. It's at 130 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's established at 130 pounds. Rigo is really best suited at 122 pounds.
Right.
And he's getting long in the tooth. He's getting frustrated. He's not fighting often. And when he does fight, he's not getting a lot of rounds.
Dirty little fighter.
And, yeah, he is. And Lomachenko is his style, even if it goes a distance, he has the kind of style where he should get the benefit of the doubt because he's busy.
Yeah.
He's moving all around. He's
the
working
best.
all the time.
Lomachenko.
And the other dude is like, he's southpaw.
Dougie Lomachenko, you've answered this previously.
But who knows if Rigo, if it takes place in Nevada, in Las Vegas, and Rigo has Vic Draculich as the ref, and he just grabs him and
You think can happen?
holds him, and then waits for the bell, and then
Ten-
Bob Bennett says, "Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, Rigo, that's my man.
I gotta
Jay-Z
be.
in the house.
I gotta be honest.
Jay-Z in the house, everybody.
I gotta be honest. I can't hear on these headphones. The arena's too loud. I couldn't hear a thing. I couldn't hear a thing. A sudden case of the deafness. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lomachenko. You've answered this one.
Lomachenko
Yeah.
ruins it.
Yeah.
They shouldn't even think about that fight for a whole year. And there's good fights out there for the kid. There's good fights.
So what do you think? I've heard that Lomachenko, Salido doesn't want it now. It's going to be Beltran?
I heard Salido's injured.
Oh, okay.
It's not I think he does want. He wants a payday. He doesn't
gonna-
care who he fights.
What do you think of Beltran's chances?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Beltran deserves a fight.
Beltran against
Loma,
Lomachenko
that's what they're saying.
at lightweight.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean I like Lomachenko, even though Beltran's a far bigger guy
Yeah. That's
and
the
with
fight.
dangerous power.
That's the fight they mentioned. I don't know if it's happening.
okay
We
with
got
that.
a couple more.
All right, Coach.
Okay, June 27th, 1988.
June 27, 1988. What weight class? Heavyweight? 88.
One guy came up to heavyweight.
1988?
Yeah.
Somebody was not a heavyweight who came up to...
Well, he was
The heavyweight?
light heavyweight. Came up.
Oh, well, are you talking about when Tyson fought Michael Spinks?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Michael Spinks had already... Michael Spinks was the Lineal and Ring Magazine heavyweight champ. He was like Canelo. But everybody recognized the unified
How many seconds?
title holder as the real champ. 91 seconds.
90 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
maybe-
Donald Trump was the
Yeah.
co-promoter.
Yeah. And
Or
he
the
stiffed-
host.
And he stiffed everyone.
Sure.
He did, seriously.
That's
Okay.
kind of a tradition in
Okay,
boxing.
this is
and now
also
in politics.
June 27th.
Do you remember the commercial? Thanks, Mr. Trump.
I know.
You don't remember the commercials? The closed circuit commercials for Tyson Spinks. It's just them staring at each other.
Yeah.
And Michael Spinks says, "Thanks, Mr. Trump."
Oh, Jesus.
And then Donald Trump must have been like high as a guy, like, yay. And then Tyson says, "Yeah, thanks, Mr. Trump." And then Spinks says, "Now we'll know who's the champ." And Tyson says, "And who's the chump?" See, Trump rhymes with chump. It was a commercial, yeah.
Hey,
I'm
my
surprised you didn't see that.
my claim to fame is Donald Trump rented a car from me.
No
Really?
way.
Yeah, he did.
Who hasn't rented a car?
Yeah,
No, he did.
everybody has a Donald Trump story.
Yeah. And he paid me.
And everyone has a Dave Schwartz story.
So here is June 27th, 1972. And I was there, Las Vegas, and it was two brothers fought in.
Oh, okay. So this is Muhammad Ali against Jerry Query,
Right.
and it's Bob Foster against Mike Query.
Wow.
The greatest knockout.
And they
of
called it. I don't think this was the official title
This
of
is
the
Al
card,
way Ali called it.
but they called it the Soul Brothers versus the Query Brothers.
Right, exactly.
Ha! Did they really?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was great.
Not really PC. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's 1972.
Anyway, Dougie.
And Foster's knockout of Mike Query,
Yeah,
one of those
gonna see.
chilling,
Oh,
freakish,
my God.
scary knockouts of all time.
And Mike
Mike
Query
was a good
good
boxer.
He was real good.
Yeah, very talented.
Yeah.
Okay, we're right around a half hour. We got time for 2 more questions on here. Is
I
that cool?
think that's all. We
Yeah,
have
we're
one
good.
question.
One more. Morris, Santa Cruz 2.
I'm gonna go with Leo because Leo showed me a lot in that rematch. Actually, Leo showed a lot in the first fight with Frampton, and I think he showed a lot in the rematch. And I thought Mares looked really good against Cuellar, but I think Mares is a little bit past his prime.
All right.
I mean, he's not an old guy; doesn't have a lot of fights, but there's a quality of opposition. I mean, he had a tough schedule there, and I think it took a little something out of him. And Leo, just a naturally bigger guy, and you know what? Santa Cruz is more versatile than we all gave him credit for.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's good.
He did much better in the second fight, and I thought.
I mean, in a perfect world, I mean, Rigondeaux wouldn't have to go all the way up to
Right.
130 to fight Loma. He could fight Santa Cruz.
Thanks for all the questions,
Yeah.
folks.
Hey,
Coach,
Good fight.
anyway, Doug, what can I say? I mean,
You weren't going
No.
ancient history on me this time.
no, but it's still
Get me with like
it's
the,
pretty
the teens
incredible.
and the 20s.
Anyway, we want to thank Neda for coming today.
thanks, Neda.
Neda's
Thank
out
you.
in LA for about a couple months. She
was just
she's
at
in
VidCon.
shape. She runs every day.
She's a
She's
real
an
runner.
incredible. Yeah, she's great. Neda's the best. JP for coming here today.
thanks, JP.
You
No
really
problem.
make
Thanks,
it for
guys.
us. But I mean, you gotta come. I'm going
healthy.
to get handcuffs. I'm going to go get you and pull you here.
It's
every week.
healthy.
I do it with all these guilt messages I send to him. I start on about
JP's a real
Wednesday.
good sport about that too.
Yeah, he's okay. He understands.
He's okay.
Anyway,
Well, one day his wife's gonna find him. And she's gonna be like,
no,
it's gonna be nasty.
I have a bodyguard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Dougie, I can't tell you. I mean, it's incredible. And thanks for listening. Remember about driving carefully. It's the most important thing. 1 second, it's all over. I mean, you cannot drive in a hurry. You got to keep a lot of distance. You let everyone else go first. You can't use, you don't even have your cell phone with you. Even to take your eye off the road to change the radio, it's all dangerous. I mean, you read every day people getting killed in auto accidents or injured. Anyway, you got to be really, really, really careful about driving. Right, Doug?
Yes. And if you get into a fender bender, remember to take the high road. Don't get crazy. Just be thankful that you're not seriously injured. You know, no one's seriously.
And we also want to thank Tom Loeffler for the press conference the other night.
Thanks,
he was
Tom.
great. Tom, thanks for having us. We had a great time. The food was incredible. I'm still paying for it.
Dave overdid it.
I way overdid it. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you next week.
Neda has a fan. He says, "Where the woman at? Show Neda again."
Show her. Show her.
All right. All right. Thanks, folks.
All right. You got it?
He said, "Where Neda at?"